What's going on, Cambridge Wrestling family? Coach Rice back here again, just making some more fun videos. Today, I got a video for you that basically shows you the greatest wrestlers that came through our wonderful program of all time. We have a first team, we have a second team, all Trojan wrestling team, and we have some honorable mention guys. During the process of making this video, it was a lot of fun. I've been around the program since I was a little kid, and then went through the program as a wrestler, as a student manager, and then I got to come back and coach here. So this has been a lot of fun because I've got to see some guys that I wrestled with. I got to see some guys that wrestled my brother that I was a student manager for, and guys that I coach now, and or guys that I am coaching with. So this has kind of been a lot of fun for me. So I created this list based on state accolades, how they merited at state, how well they did at state, because it's pretty hard to compare apples to apples. I'm probably not the person to do that, because I haven't been around for 50 years. So what I did is I just basically went off how well they did at state, and that kind of put them into place. There's a lot of couple state champions. One's on a first team, one's on a second team. So hopefully nobody takes offense to it. I just did my best, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm just going to go through the names, and I hope you enjoy this video. All right, so our first team, before I go on, I had to put guys as close to the weight classes I could because, the weight classes have changed over time. So I went off today's weight classes, so they may not be the same as what they were when they wrestled, but I tried to get them as close as I could. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so at 106 pounds, we have Mark Tenmensley, who was a state runner-up in 1972 at 105 pounds. At 113 pounds on the first team was Lyman Siebold. He was a two-time medalist and a state champion in 1969 at 112 pounds. He was also our first state champion and I believe our first medalist. At 120 pounds, Carson Farr, somebody that I wrestled with, grew up with, great wrestler. He was a two-time medalist, fourth place in 2010 at 125 pounds. At 126 pounds, we have Dallas Hayes, who was a state runner-up in 1976 at 132 pounds. At 132 pounds, we have Virgil Bonshoff. He was a three-time medalist. His best place was fourth place in 1989 at 135 pounds. Moving up to 138, we have Virgil's brother, Kevin, who actually I have had a great opportunity to be coached by and to coach with Kevin. Kevin was a two-time medalist, a state runner-up in 1992 at 135 pounds. At 145 pounds, we have Travis Arnold, three-time medalist. He was a state champion in 1988 at 145 pounds. At 152 pounds, we have Kenny Thompson. He's a three-time medalist, a two-time state champion in 1974 and 1975 at 155 pounds. Moving down to 160, a lot of you may know this name. I know this name. He was an official for a long time, great official, a great asset to our program is Bart Detterding. He's a three-time medalist. His best placing was third place in 1996 at 160 pounds. Moving on down to 170, it was Steve Woody, who was a state runner-up in 72 at 167 pounds. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend, at 182 pounds, Dan Desmond. He was a three-time medalist, two-time state champion in 1974 and 1975. Man was an animal from what I've heard. I've actually had the opportunity to coach against Dan. That was fun. I only got to do it for 1 year, and then he retired. Dan actually has a son that was a four-time state champion. So when we talk about our team captain here at the end, I'll kind of explain why I chose him. All right, at 195 pounds, we have Mark Woody. He was a two-time medalist, a state runner-up in 1980 at 185 pounds. At 220 pounds, another guy that I got to coach with and be a student manager for, Bronson Susie, three-time medalist, a state runner-up in 2006. At 215 pounds, almost pulled off one of the greatest upsets in Class D high school wrestling. And then at 285 pounds, Mike Schaff, who was a two-time state champion here at Cambridge in 2011 and 2012. All right, so our team captain I decided was Dan Desmond. Dan was a three-time medalist at Cambridge and a two-time state champion. That is the reason that I chose him over some of the other names, is because of his career. He not only did he wrestle, he moved his career on to being a head wrestling coach. and had a son that was a 4-time state champion and had many state champions. So that is the reason that he was our team captain, and I don't think anybody could argue with that. All right, moving on to our second team. So at 106 pounds, we have Gary Groshon. He placed fourth in 1971 at 112 pounds. At 113 pounds, we got Cliff Kester. He is a 2-time medalist. He placed third in 1978 at 112 pounds. 120 pounds, we have Jim Phillips. He placed sixth place in 1986 at 126 pounds. Another guy that I've got to know because of being a student manager, being a coach, and he's an official is Chase Shiflett. He placed fourth in 2004 at 125 pounds. At 132 pounds, we got Matt Newcomb. Fourth place in 1993 at 135 pounds. 138 pounds, we got Joe Whitty. He placed fifth in 1993 at 140 pounds. At 145 pounds, we have Tom Minnick on the second team. He was a state champion. That's kind of crazy that I had to be on the second team, but somebody had better accolades than him. And so he was just a one-timer, so I had to move him down to second place. So I'm sorry, Steve, but that's the reason why you're on the second team. All right, moving on. Dennis Cornett, fourth place in 1986. He is our second teamer for 160 pounds. He wrestled 155 in 86. We got Whitney Jones, another guy that I got to watch wrestle, one of the funkiest wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. He placed third in 2004 at 171 pounds. 182 pounds, we got Matt Pearson, one of the guys that I got to coach. Great wrestler, a lot of fun to be around. He placed fourth in 2018. 195 pounds, we got Jason Benz. He was a 2-time medalist. He placed fifth in 1996. This guy got to coach me, and I got to coach with him. Very tough, gritty guy. All right, at 220 pounds, I got myself. I placed third in 2010 at 215 pounds. And 285 pounds, we got Roger Whitty. He was a 2-time medalist and a state champion in 1977 at heavyweight. I'd love to see that match between him and Mike Schaaf. Unfortunately for Roger, Mike was a 2-time state champion and was undefeated here at Cambridge, so he got the nod there at first team. And then here's our all honorable mention. So I just put the name and the weight class that they would wrestle at. As you notice, we have a ton of guys in our bigger weights. And I kind of, relate that to, well, we've always kind of had a successful football program. And, generally football players or linemen are bigger. So that's where we got a ton of guys. And I went back through, and I think we had 15 medalists, 15 total medals at heavyweight. So there's guys on here in the honorable mention that were 2-time medalists or even 3-time medalists there at heavyweight, and even runner-ups. So that was a crazy weight for me to do. All right, honorable mention, 126 pounds. So we didn't have 106, 113, 120. So our first weight was 126, and that was Tom Gross. 132 was John Davis. 138 was Joe Benson. 152, Connor Bonshoff, guy I got to coach. He placed sixth as a senior. He's honorable mention at 152. 170, we have Dan Zabel, Cody Vandergriff, and Laverne Bonshoff, another Bonshoff. And Vandergriff I got to wrestle with. Great wrestler, tough kid. 182 pounds, we got Dennis Peterson, Drew Sprinkle, and Tim Phillips. Mr. Sprinkle I got to coach. One of the funnest wrestlers I've got to be around, just kind of make anything happen at any point in time. 195 pounds, we had Lance Shiflett, Trace Doyle, and Brock Schaaf. I got to be around all those guys. I wrestled with Lance. I coached Trace, and I was around Brock a little when he was here the first stint. I kind of knew him as a young kid. 220 pounds, we got Seth Andrews, another kid that I was able to coach, and was a lot of fun coaching. Got to see his maturity, over time. And now we're finally moving down to heavyweight, our big stacked weight class, ton of medalists. All right, we got Sean Colson, Chris Paisley, Jay Sayre, Ben Trosper, Chris Cornett, and Tyler Schultz. All right, a lot of great names on there. A lot of guys that, weren't just medalists, but they were multi-time medalists or multi-time state qualifiers or state runner-ups. So that's quite the list there. So I just wanted to create this video. Again, this is our Trojan wrestling team all time. All right, so we had our first team, we had our second team. It'd be a lot of fun to see some of those matches. It's like I said, I had to try and merit it somehow. So I basically just went off how well they did at state. that would be one heck of a duel, the first team versus second team. Um, this product that I put together. It's going to be in the paper sometime this week or next week. So I hope you all enjoy this, and I hope you get to relive some memories during this crazy time of COVID-19, where I get to have some time on my hands and I get to make some fun things like this. But at the same point, I hope everyone's staying safe and I hope everyone's staying healthy. And again, thank you for everyone for watching this video, and I just want to say thank you for all of you that have wrestled for this program, and I hope our future wrestling program continues to build as it is right now. And the last thing I got to say is go Trojans.